Welcome to 2K TV. First up, we want to congratulate the top play of the spring, Alexis, who took home the award.
Congratulations, King LaShawn 13. Enjoy that 500,000 VC, and you're now in the running for 2K TV Top Play of the Year.
If you want a chance at winning Top Play of the Year, send us your plays over social media using hashtag 2KTVWow.
Until then, here's a chance for you to earn some VC with some 2K TV Interactive, brought to you by Oreo and the NBA Dynasty Oreos.
So what makes a dynasty? A lot of W's, and the Chicago Bulls had quite a few of them in the 90s. So the first question is, how many NBA championships did the Chicago Bulls win during the 1990s?
Was it 4, 5, 6, or 7?
Welcome, everybody, to the day we've all been looking forward to. The start of a new NBA season on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side, Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. And from the sideline, David Aldridge. Hey, Dave.
Kevin, thanks very much. In this era of player empowerment, no aspect is more important than their determination to make sure their voices are heard. As continued cases of social injustice come to light, they refuse to simply shut up and dribble, if you get my meaning. Instead, they're using their platform to affect change. Kevin, it's a movement among some very determined players.
Much needed indeed, David. Thank you. So the net starting five. Harden out there with Irving. Then it's Joe Harris. Then it's Jordan. And it's KD in a power forward. And for Oklahoma City, we've got Williams. Horford is out there with Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Roby in at the 4 slot. Greg, you played over a decade in the NBA. Is there an opening day that you remember most that sticks out in your mind?
No doubt. The very first time I put on that Knicks jersey, you know, your rookie year, the game was in Orlando. I got to play 28 minutes, which was a lot for a rookie back then, especially on a really good team. And it was an awesome experience. That was a moment you had dreamt of your entire life if you grew up wanting to play basketball, man, and I was pumped.
That's a great story. Here's Roby. Pass to Dort. No good with the triple.
Ooh, he missed an easy chance to put some points on the board. He won't get a much better look at that kind of shot again here probably tonight. That's just tremendous scoring.
Brooklyn shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game.
And Kevin Durant, one of the greatest scorers to ever play. Not the most prolific scorer, but perhaps the most talented. He's dangerous from any part of the floor.
Here's Dort. Brown outside. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. No good on the triple. Greg, as scores go, Kevin Durant's as efficient as any.
I mean, Durant has an insane field goal percentage for the shots that he takes. I mean, when you factor in how many threes he puts up, it gets even more impressive. Durant takes so many shots where he's covered and is still efficient. It's just mind-blowing.
Gilgeous-Alexander can't get it to go.
Maybe a time to rest him right now. Just give him a bit of a breather. Try to help him get back on track.
No question he got bumped on that shot. And when he first came into the league, Blake Griffin's dunking made headlines. And while I'm sure he enjoyed that, he was also eager to show that there was more to his game.
First free throw is good. And you know, Greg, in the past, Griffin felt at times criticized as being a one-dimensional player.
I tell you, Kevin, I think he's answered those critics. You look at his passing and his development as a shooter, one of the more complete offensive players in the league.
Tony Bradley's checked in for Brown. And a switch here for Brooklyn. Claxton's checked in. That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2.
Traditionally, we talk about power forwards. I mean, is that not Blake Griffin? It applies to every facet of his game.
Now, here's Bradley. After the miss from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Baisley. They can't stop the run with that one.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Dinwiddie with the bucket.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Well, if there were 4 or 5 boxes to check in terms of the game plan tonight, they might have checked 6. I mean, they're doing everything out there.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
Yeah, they're like a 4-day-old soda right now, just flat. They're missing shots left and right and just not playing their best.
Seconds left in the first quarter of the game. And a wide open look for Gilgeous-Alexander. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
Well, proving more and more he's trying to be more Gilgeous-Alexander collects a bucket. Looked like a simple play and turned into a turnover. Can't give away possessions like that.
Thunder trailing by 12. Got a hand on it. And here's Griffin. The pass to Junior. From outside the arc. Rebound by Muscala. Here's Baisley. 2 on the clock. He gets it in there. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 9 points.
Well, he's capable of making you pay there, Gilgeous-Alexander, in a nice rhythm.
And so it's Kevin Durant making headlines and highlights for Brooklyn. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. We've got more in store for you right after this. And earlier we spoke with Kevin Durant about surviving the grind of an NBA season.
How can we be the best version of ourselves individually every day, and how can we bring that together to make a great group? And I think that's the focus every day. That's tough in itself. That's the pressure in itself, is the getting up and being laser focused on what your job is every day. And I think a lot of guys in this locker room know how to muster up that focus to, win basketball games.
Well, Durant may not be the in-your-face type of player, Greg, but he gets the message across for sure.
He's not going to yell at you. He's going to show you how it's done and expect that you're as committed to winning as he is.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And from Brooklyn guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Well, their effort on the defensive end has set the tone for this game.
That defense has been infectious here as everybody stepping up aggressively on that end.
We've got Mike Muscala, also Bradley out there, and it's Baisley in at the 3 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Dinwiddie kicks to Junior. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
And if that's the best look you can get on a possession, what a waste of a trip down the floor.
Yeah, see the coach? He's got that frown on his face. I think we know why. Not a high percentage look.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we all know that there are some people who dislike James Harden's style of play. They're bored watching him shoot free throws. He said, "I see how teams guard me and find ways to exploit it. I just outthink the game, and I'm faulted for it." Kevin, that may be, but it's hard to argue with the results. Back to you.
You're right, one of the top scorers in league history, David. Thanks for that report. Timeout called the Nets. Greg, when you were in New York, you were on a super team of sorts. Compare that to the super teams they're forming now in the NBA.
Oh, we've always had super teams. And this misnomer that this is something that's just come about with this era is to me, absurd. You've always had it. Whether the difference nowadays is I think the players have more say in where they go. And they can orchestrate how a team is constructed. But it's always existed. And the reality is this. You become a super team when you win a lot.
Sure.
And that's what really dictates how super your team is.
And a new group out there on the floor for the Nets. Irving kicks to Harden. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Harden's got his second. And that concludes the first half. Nets lead by 11. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks a lot. Kyrie, what were you all focusing on coming into the game tonight?
Got to come out with a intense focus and intensity that other teams can't match. Just doing whatever it takes to keep our tempo. Guys are in a great rhythm when we have a great tempo. So just trying to get everybody involved and do whatever it takes to win.
Well, we'll see if you can keep playing at your pace in the second half. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. And Brooklyn making a change here. Junior's checked in. Brooklyn leading by 6. And Brooklyn looking who they've got. Junior's out there with Harden. And it's Durant. Then there's Harris. And it's Jordan in at the pivot spot manning the middle. Junior way outside. Thunder with the rebound.
And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
Especially if you're a player that doesn't get a lot of shot attempts. But otherwise, the mindset is, I just got to get the next one to go. And you don't want to put that much pressure on yourself. That's where they look to him most. DeAndre Jordan with arms that go on for days. Just toss that ball anywhere, and he knows what to do with it.
And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They'll be off next to Utah for a meeting with the Jazz. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
And Joe Harris, the lethal shooter, he can also be a threat in the pick-and-roll game.
Yeah, Harris does a great job reading what a defense is giving. He's more than just a catch-and-shoot type of player. Harris can hit shots on the move and isn't afraid to go at defenders.
For 3, and it's Baisley with the rebound.
And he has not made one shot in this one. Has to be on his mind every time he's pulling up.
And Torch gets it to go.
That's pretty much not how they want to defend the three-point line. Somebody's got to shadow him out there.
Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Now, here's Junior. Gilgeous-Alexander covering.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
He gets really smooth sometimes. Gilgeous-Alexander has some size, and he challenged the defense with it that time.
First free throw is good. A couple years ago, after making all-rookie second team, we knew Gilgeous-Alexander was good. But, Greg, last season he went from good to great.
I mean, how about almost doubling his scoring average? Became a tremendous rebounder out of the backcourt. He gives you assists and picks up steals as well. Once he gains more strength, this guy could be a perennial all-star.
That one is no good.
Gilgeous-Alexander, such an intriguing prospect coming out of the...
There he goes!
You don't want to be jumping on a play like that. No. Wow, he was...
Sends a new group in for the Nets. Jordan, he's checked in for Griffin. Kevin Durant comes in for Green. Joe Harris is checked in for Brown. And Junior subbed in for Dinwiddie.
And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for the Nets.
Their shot blocking turned out to give them a big advantage in this game.
Yeah, excellent defense around the rim there, Kevin. That they were disciplined and focused.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Kevin Durant.
Yeah, it felt like there was more than one of him out there tonight. He was involved on every possession, and he made his presence felt in so many ways.
They've got Muscala Brown out there with Bradley. Then there's Horford. And it's Roby in at the point guard. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. It's the Nets now. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Now, Junior. KD on the wing. He gets that one.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
Yeah, definitely putting a stamp on this one. A very, very decisive victory for the club tonight.
Look, it's always great to get into a rhythm, but do it when it matters.
Yeah, it's tough to mount a comeback like this and then fall oh so short. I'm sure that's weighing on them just a little bit.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Well, the D cannot handle DJ right now. A gigantic guy on the inside who's going to get those calls most of the time.
The first one falls. And so Jordan nails both of them.
breathe easy now. The biggest free throws in the game, and he's coming through.
Puts one up from 19. Uncovered. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Junior with it. From deep three-point range. Jordan the pass to Chioza. Here's Junior. Off target. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, gee, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And that'll do it, folks. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. We'll see you next time.
Oh yeah. Backing that shit up. Oh shit, what the Oh Jordan baby.
Dynasties make legends, or is it the other way around? While Shaquille O'Neal played for 3 teams that have had dynasties, which one of these teams did he not play for?
Was it the San Antonio Spurs, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Miami Heat, or the Boston Celtics? A lot of great wins for a lot of great franchises.
That's a look from earlier on as the Nets head to the locker room. They're in no mood to let this game get away from them on their home floor. There below is Barclays Center and the Burrow Tall Moment. Thanks for joining us here on 2K Sports for NBA basketball. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and we have David Aldridge on our sideline. And our special guest tonight, welcoming in Kenny the Jet Smith.
Oh, Kevin, man, great to be here. I hate being up in that studio sometimes. I love it down here,
We
man.
need you courtside.
Oh,
we
man,
need you
it feels so
courtside.
much better being with you guys and them other two.
DA, take it away.
Hey, Kevin. Well, another Kevin, Kevin Durant, is just as dedicated to his craft as you are at yours, but it's off the court where he says he's been on a search, pushing my limits, the flow of life, the people I meet, the environment I want to live in. All that stuff fulfills me more than anything. Kevin, the game of basketball opens so many doors for him to search.
It does indeed. Thanks, David. Kenny, you just look at this roster. Brooklyn full of stars. There have been some very high aspirations for this team, maybe as much as any, in the near future.
Yeah, well, they handed out a pair of max contracts at Irving and Durant.
Right.
And then they still had a solid nucleus and core. They're trying to win titles over the next few seasons.
It's going to be interesting to see if Kevin Durant gets all the way back. There's not a lot of history of guys in their 30s rupturing the Achilles, getting back to that level. Remember, this guy wasn't just a great player. He was an all-time great.
And checking out Minnesota. Bruce Brown, he's checked in for the Nets. Junior comes in for Irving. The Timberwolves have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line.
And a season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws.
Kenny, these days you need versatile defenders. In your opinion, who does the best job of guarding from point guard to center in the NBA?
Oof, you got Kawhi, you got AD. I would add Paul George in the mix.
Sure.
I would add Patrick Beverly in the mix. I would add P.J. Tucker, guys who can play multiple defending positions. Avery Bradley, I would add him in there. You notice most of them on the same team, huh?
That's crazy.
Towns. And that's collected by DeAndre Jordan. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Fires from deep. That one, no good. Timberwolves go the other way with it. Last game matchup with the Suns, a tough loss there.
Yeah, for that loss, lack thereof.